Hey everyone, this is Borvok. Just going to do a quick review on Venom number 10, issue number 10. I know I'm a bit late on this. Again, I just recently read this, got all of my month's comics in a lump sum from Midtown Comics. So, been some good reviews on this already, but just jump in, give you my own thoughts on it. This tribute to Stan Lee here again. We pick up, and I didn't review the last issue, but this is an okay. Um, I don't know if it's an okay starting point, but like I said, we'll just jump right in. So Eddie Brock is out eating with his little brother, and his little brother is, talking to him about stuff. And in the last issue, his little brother was like, "Hey, we gotta kill our dad," who's apparently a real jerk. We find out. We kind of knew that from the previous issue, but we find that out again here. Um, Here he's saying, "Okay, I didn't really mean that," which, okay. Um, but we do a flashback. Eddie's talking about when he was younger. He apparently, ran over a kid, and then he was going to trial for it. And here's kind of a weird thing. Eddie says he could get away with it because he was young, white, and the son of a rich and powerful man in the community. I I feel like one of those things is more important than the other two as far as getting away with what you want. Um, I don't know why they need to bring skin color into all this, kind of some political undertones. It's a bit silly, but just the assumption that if you had dark skin somehow things would have been different. I don't know. That's kind of something you can't really prove one way or the other, so it's kind of silly to throw that in there. He says he's going to plead guilty because he feels bad, he feels guilty for running over a kid, and his dad basically forces him to say, "No, you're gonna plead innocent, and we're gonna make this go away because this is important to my reputation. I can't have a son who ran over a kid." So Eddie, look at that. Great guy, right? Um, Punching his kid, slamming his head against the man, how do you survive that? That's brutal. It's like a split skull or something. I don't know, comic books. But yeah, nice guy, Eddie's dad. So Eddie agrees to plead innocent because his dad basically forces him into it. So he's having some guilt about that now. Um, so he and his brother, they walk out to, they're walking out of the coffee house, and the kid's like, "Hey, can I stay with you for a while? Because dad's crazy." And he's like, "Well, I kind of live in an alley right now." Uh, uh, Eddie starts having a hallucination of the symbiote guy, Null, I think. It starts having a hallucination of Null and starts commencing a beatdown. But then he realizes it's a hallucination and he's been hitting his younger brother. That's that's not good. Um, he spits up some blood, and then his little brother apparently his little brother's look at that, he's a little kid, and somehow he drags him all the way into the hospital. I don't know um, how you lift someone as big as Eddie when you're a little kid like that, but some guys with dark glasses come in. They find Eddie's brother. Here's the weird thing, that guy right there, he almost looks like one of the guys. Do I have a picture of it here? He almost looks, it might just be Ryan Stegman's art, but he kind of looks like that guy. See that guy right there? He looks kind of like that guy right there, but it's probably just a coincidence. So they apprehend the little kid who's in the waiting room, and they inject him with something. And he says, "Well, what's wrong with my brother? What's going on?" And in the hospital, we find the evil um, this guy. who's he the evil version of again? He's from the Ultimate Universe, and he's evil Reed Richards. That's who he is. And he says your brother has quite a lot of cancer. So that's kind of an interesting idea. Like the symbiote is helping Eddie fight off cancer, but it's still kind of affecting him. We saw evil Reed Richards. I forget what his code name is. 'Cause he has a code name, I think. But I'll just call him Evil Reed Richards because that's who he is. If you know what his name is, if you can remember, then let me know. But we saw him in earlier issues. He's trying to use Eddie for something, and I like him as a character. It's good to see him back. He's got that crazy head thing, helmet. It's kind of cool. Um, and yeah, so that's the issue. It sets up for whatever's coming next. Really interesting. Ryan Stegman's art is great. I'm not honestly that weirdness about he wouldn't be uh he wouldn't get in trouble because he was white was kind of weird. And it's just story-wise, I don't know. I never read Lethal Protector, so hmm, I'm not a big fan of this whole, to me Eddie Brock worked at the Daily Bugle for a while. He you know, kind of had a reason to hate Spider-Man. Kind of almost a rival to Peter Parker, hated Spider-Man, worked at the Bugle. I don't need this whole dark sob story about killing a kid in a car accident. I don't know. Is that from the Lethal Protector or did they invent that for this book? I'm not sure. But I feel like it's unnecessary. It makes just I always saw Eddie Brock maybe it's the influence of the movies, but I always saw him as more of just a jerk as opposed to this guy with a super dark past of, running over a kid uh, and then somehow going from there to working at the Bugle. And I don't know. I think uh, I've been enjoying this run of Venom, but I think that's leaning. And again, maybe there's some stuff from previous runs, but not everything can be dark and edgy and horrible all the time. There needs to be some levity. There needs to be some break from it. Um, Otherwise, the darkness just isn't dark anymore. It's just what is. I'm not a big fan of that. I am, like I said, I am glad to see Reed Richards back. That's good. I've been kind of mentioning this. So yeah, yeah, it's an okay issue, kind of setup, kind of dark, and it's got, but it's got great art. It's if you're already reading Venom, you're gonna read this issue, and if you like what you saw, go ahead and pick yourself up a copy digitally or support your local comic shop. Read it for yourself, word by word, panel by panel, and page by page. See what you think for yourself rather than relying on online reviews. And yeah, I haven't really talked about this before, but they've been doing these kind of homages to Stan Lee, who unfortunately passed away recently. They've been ending the books with Stan's soapbox, which talks about how, in Stan's kind of funny way, old-timey way. You can tell this is from a while back. Stan Lee talking about how the purpose of Marvel is to entertain people. And beyond that, if they can, bring people together, then that's all the better. But it's all about the reader. It's all about entertaining people and telling good stories. And I kind of wish that current Marvel got that back in order. I feel like in a lot of books at least it's not about entertaining people first and then about bringing people together second, maybe. It's about forcing people to have certain politics first, and then after that, the entertaining is almost a forgotten second. Again, Venom has been good, but I feel like a lot of the books that have come out recently with Marvel have been they could use a little bit more of Stan Lee's attitude, um, even in the books that have this soapbox on them. And but I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I think Stan had a good attitude. How do you think Marvel's doing living up to that recently? Um, Let me know if you have any thoughts on this issue or any of that stuff in the comment section, and I will talk to you down there. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.